mind, take a few seconds for those people that might not know who you are and let us know who you are and what you're up to.
Sounds good. Hey, Jill, I'm happy to be here too. Hey, all of you out there. So, my name is Liz Connors, and I am lifestylist and founder at Loves Together currently. And my long and sordid career has been all over the place. And I jumped into it in the 90s. And the vodka has kept me young, says my grandpa. Um, but so I started planning events for senator, a U.S. senator, and it kind of, I was hired to do something else, but then they realized quickly that I like to get in there and roll up my sleeves, and started giving me more and more tasks, and so that was great. Town halls and constituent events and those sorts of things, and then I just kept moving on to various different sides of the industry. I worked at the Minneapolis Convention and Visitors Bureau, planning their member events for a long time. Just loved that. I planned athletic events, including, fun runs, the really big ones, 6,000 people, and working with the
Yay.
city and those sorts of things. And I could probably go on with the zigs and the zags, but at a certain point, I realized there was a big opportunity in technology, and I wanted to capitalize on that, not only for my own interests and longevity, it was a good job security, but also because I thought that there were many opportunities that technology could provide us and afford us in events that really weren't being used, in terms of like the data we could collect, the feedback we could collect, the promotion, etc. There's so much that we're doing now that we weren't doing then in 2010
Hmm.
when I made the move. So, and then since that, I've done just about everything in tech. I've worked for an event app companies. I've sold audience response systems. I've worked in virtual event production and webcasting. I've worked with like marketing, PR, games, and like hybrid meeting production. So yeah, all over the place. I love
Love
it. Still loving
everything.
it. A little of everything. So that's who I am and what I've been up to for the past however many years.
And now it's Loves Together.
Yep. So yeah, I can tell
Congratulations.
you a little bit about that, but it's essentially a bit of everything that I've just coined the term lifestylist, and it's because I kind of go where people need me to go. So whatever is going to kind of complete them in their life goal. So it might be planning travel itineraries for them. It might be they need a fun, host or moderator for their virtual events. They might need someone on the back end that's more of like a voice of God, or on the front end doing like the physical emceeing or panel interviewing. Um, just really a bit of everything. I've been doing, I've done game show hosts. I've hosted a lot of virtual programs, as you can imagine, during COVID. But I've been also kind of expanding my services as clients are requesting. Lately, I've been doing a lot of drone operate, like not I'm not operating it, but I'm working with my partners that
Darn.
I've vetted over the years. Yeah, to go in and do tours, like virtual tours. Like one of my markets that's been really huge lately is for like assisted living and senior living facilities. So they obviously don't want people coming in touring the facilities. And so doing, drone and video tours and producing that so that they can still keep giving seniors a place to go and keep selling their space. So projects like that are really smart and still kind of take advantage of all the technology that I built over the years. So really, I'm kind of
Kind of
going
a
a little.
technology focus.
Yeah, I'm like a technology and events concierge.
Oh, good one. I like that. I like that. Well, in your exposure to the different people in the industry and your different clients, what is it that you feel like the experts are saying we're looking toward in the next, oh, say 6 months? What do you think's happening in the
Yeah,
meetings industry?
I think we're going to see. three major focuses. So the first is going to be hybrid events. And, there's people that are obviously ready to meet and would like to start doing that face to face. We're getting vaccinated every day. We just kind of click closer to that. States are reopening. So I think that there's going to be a lot of focus on that, but then also how do we tie in this offsite audience that is not ready to go back or just has found that they prefer the cost savings and the convenience of joining from home. And I think you're going to see that not only with attendees, but also with speakers. And I think that a lot of accounting departments are going to realize how much money was saved, and also the access to celebrities and to big name speakers that is afforded by just saying, all we need you to do is jump on your computer from your house, or studio somewhere, and we can just beam you in. So I think that there's a lot of benefits that have kind of been ironed out over the last year and a half that are going to make, gonna kind of grease the wheels for hybrid a little bit. The second thing I think we're going to see is if we bring events back fully live, a bigger focus on the mission and making sure that that is really important, that it makes sense to bring people together. And also a real core focus on, I don't know if I should say this, but I'm going to say the sex appeal of the event. Making it really stand out. And you'll see, authors like Tahira and Dean are writing about this right now. People like Hot Dokamazo and the Hot Rock Creative Group are writing about really exploring how events can tap into the five senses and really be more experiential and bucket list rather than mundane and like we'd always done in the past. So I think that's going to be huge. And then the third thing is just going to be a focus on engagement and just core mission and values of the companies. I think the younger generations are continuing to demand more transparency, bigger experiences, more like experiences that are really tied to the company's deep culture, not only staffing, but what they're saying, who they're saying they are. And so people are really going to be looking for that and looking for, just things that stand out.
What do you think is like the most important thing for planners to be considering right now for the meetings they're working over the next 6 months to a year?
Well, in the short term,
one thing, as if there's only one thing.
Yeah, right. I mean, in the short term, obviously, we can't overlook the health factor, and we have to. I think that the way you market your events is always important, but I think it's even more important now, doing your due diligence in marketing what the changes are. How are we going to take care of you? How are we going to guarantee that this is a safe event? And again, to use the word, I just, the word sexy is just coming out all over the place today. But, it's not sexy. Like rules and regulations and safety, it's not terribly sexy, but I do think that that's going to be really important right now as our culture has changed. I mean, our internal monologue is different. Like the next time I go to shake someone's hand or hug them, there's different thoughts. There's going to be this hesitation that we got to get over a little bit. And I think rolling that out in your marketing is going to be really important. And then secondly, I think it's changing the mindset of going back. We're going to go back to normal, which you hear everyone saying. Well, this is a great time to not go back to normal, to really shed what wasn't working and harness what's new and what you've always wanted to do. So I think it's a really good time for brands and events and, even travel companies to kind of reimagine the events that they've always craved, and really put that to work and put that into action. Because I think it's a, it's a natural gap, right? The other thing, people are doing this in their own life. No one's going to look at your resume now and say, well, there's a gap in your resume, because there's going to be this like cognizance of COVID. So I think it's a really good time for people to just, again, be reinventing themselves, and just come back stronger.
That's great. Liz, thank you so much again for being here with us and helping to share your wisdom. We really appreciate your time.
Always a pleasure, Jill. You take care.